every week live with our host talking about a question that is affiliated with our monthly live event, which we really, really hope you all can make it to. We had manifestation last month, and that was a great conversation. It was great to meet people in the community. So we're looking forward to meeting y'all on February 22nd. So sign up. The link will be in the comments or in the description. All right. Is everyone ready for your first question?
Cool.
Do it.
Lay it on
Yeah,
me.
let's do
Let's
it.
do it. All
Absolutely.
right.
Do it.
So today we are talking about unresolved past trauma. So that can be anywhere in your life and what that impact is for someone as they are looking for a partnership that they actually want to be a part of and desire. So basically how to move forward after trauma and your ability to have a great divine soul partnership. Who wants to go first?
Hmm.
Well,
Well,
I'm gonna start then.
Go
yeah,
then.
go ahead.
Yeah. So I was actually going to ask answer about a question. What is trauma? What is it? And how we understand it, how we define trauma, because the etymology of the word is from Greek, means a wound. So and it refers to something physical. However, since we have acknowledged that there is also things happening on an energetic level, so it's basically your system that can't cope with an overwhelming event. So, and when we talk about your system, we're talking about your nervous system. So the question is, how did you get traumatized? And I think if you look back how this happened, you can basically pick apart the reason why you choose to react to that situation in that way, because it's still on some level a choice. And I know it's not always easy to define, but there's obviously a decision to, at some point, where you're saying to yourself, I don't like this, it hurts. So therefore, this is how I'm gonna, conclude this experience. I'm gonna be like, okay, well then, no, I'm never gonna do that again, or and so on. So I think understanding that part can then help you progress to the next part, which is still part of manifesting. Essentially, now we talk about relationship, the actual, loving relationship you desire. So that's what I would say. What
Yeah.
you guys thinking?
Yeah. I would agree. Definitely, it all starts with the traumas or limiting beliefs. Even if you're having issues with past traumas, and you haven't resolved those, any future or present relationships will reflect back to you what you're still dealing with, because you're choosing to allow it to interfere. And I know putting it that way may sound a bit dry. I have dealt with my own iterations on this, and I have nothing but sympathy for any of you dealing with these kinds of things. It's something that you have to realize that just because it's happened before doesn't mean it's going to happen again. And the reason that maybe you've seen it happen again in some cases is because you're carrying that with you. That little bag from back in the day, from something that happened. You are the only one who's choosing to continue to hold on to that. It's not the other partner coming in. They're coming in because that's where you're vibing, right? Like, you've got these traumas that need to be gently unraveled and let go of. So um, if you choose to deal with these, and we'll be talking about this a lot more, of course, during the event, um, you can have a much more open, uh, joyful experience and attract to you exactly what you're after, right? Because that you're on the same. It's a frequency match. So if you are vibing at a better level and more open to joyful experiences and the things that you really wish to have from an exchange with someone else, you'll have that too. Like, that'll come right in too, and you'll realize it's a much more fulfilling experience because there's nothing blocking your energy from reaching them, and vice versa, because you're both vibing at the same place, right? So yeah, what do you guys have to say or think on that?
I agree 100% about
Yeah.
what you say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's my
definitely.
thinking. That's my line of thinking.
Yeah.
So, So then the question would be, how do you then get to the next level where you realize you've been traumatized, or perhaps you don't realize you've been traumatized, because a lot of people don't realize it. So how do you like notice that you've been going through trauma? What are the signs?
Yeah, go get that one, Corey.
Interestingly enough, everything comes from within you. So, y'all, I know you guys all heard the saying, life is 90% what happens to you and then 10% of how you react to it. Well, the trauma is caused by your reaction to whatever you went through. You can go through the most craziest thing, but most of us aren't operating in full unconditional love, so we can't. And I'm only speaking for myself. Like, I've been through traumatic things my whole entire life, and when I look back on it, I think it became trauma because I wasn't able to forgive. I wasn't able to process what happened in a unconditional, loving way.
Yeah.
So I didn't know. I didn't realize it was trauma because most of it's just suppressed. Like, the things that happen to us, most of the time we just suppress our feelings about it instead of allowing ourselves to have those feelings and then allowing those feelings to move on, right? That's typically where most trauma comes from. It comes from you suppressing how you feel, or not. I bless you said it, not dealing with dealing with the trauma, but really it's like pointing the finger at what happened instead of saying, how do I deal better with what happened? That makes sense.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
Yep.
I again, I'm gonna say this probably everything. I'm always gonna bring it back to empowerment. You control what it's gonna be, and things happen to you are going to happen to you. Things you agreed upon to happen to you are happening throughout your experience and while you're here. So the question is, how do I learn to deal with it? And again, it took me years to get there. It took me years to understand that my reaction to these things. It took me the last couple years really to learn, like, okay, it's me. Like, I'm allowing this to be trauma. So first thing is recognizing that these things and acknowledging these things happen to me. If it's relationship wise, this happened to me. The partner I believed in, they cheated on me. It happened. Now, how am I going to react to that? Am I going to decide that every other partner is like this partner? So now I'm prejudging every other person I meet based on a past experience? Am I not recognizing that this partner did whatever they did because they were in a different space in time and in their life? And maybe at that time I needed to experience the thing that happened to me. Like, if we could all if we could all do it perfectly, we would experience nothing bad. It would be no trauma, right? Like, if we could have it the way we want, it wouldn't be no trauma. But that defeats the whole purpose of us being here.
Right.
That
Exactly.
defeats the whole purpose of the experience. And again, I'm talking to y'all from a healed person perspective. If you was asking me these questions, I'd be like, okay, it's their fault and that happened, this and that happened. So I understand both sides of it. But I just know that, one, I'm removing judgment from it.
Mm-hmm.
So when the trauma I've dealt with, I'm removing the judgment of the people. Because shit, we had that really good conversation off camera about the different experiences we've had, and now we haven't always been the good guy in every experience.
Right.
Well, once you understand that, it's easier to look at the other person as though you would look at yourself if you were the bad person in the experience. So, first thing, and I'm gonna land the plane. First thing is, am I looking at this thing through the eyes of my soul, or am I looking at it through the eyes of my circumstance?
Right.
And that's number one. That's number one in recognizing if it's truly, it is trauma, but how I'm supposed to deal with it. Am I looking at it through the eyes of the circumstance that it was, or through the eyes of my soul, understanding that I agreed to whatever this trauma was going to be? And then ultimately, like, figuring out, how do I get into a place of unconditional love again? Like, how do I get in a place of forgiveness? How do I get into a place where I'm not holding this over the head? Because you're never going to be able to have a healthy relationship if you're dragging experiences or trauma from a previous relationship. It won't work, because you're always going to be looking sideways. The littlest thing the new person does, and it may not even be exactly what the other person does, but you already on guard. So now, this person said something and you're like, well, that sounds something like the old person would have said, but it ain't the old person. Right. So
right. Who's the one applying that? It's you.
Correct. So again, like I said, it's all coming from you.
Mm-hmm.
You're deciding whether you can move on and be in a healthy relationship going forward. And that's not just romantic relationships, although I know that's going to be the focal point, but that's any relationship, like, relationship with your parents.
Right.
How do I process
business
that?
deals,
business deals.
If you had
whatever.
a bad business deal before,
Exactly.
Doesn't mean this one's going to be bad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's
parents to children.
Yes,
that is
correct.
very unspoken, but you might have had an older children, and you dealt with them in certain way. You had certain issues, and now you're projecting on the younger one because you're thinking it's the same.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then you also projecting. I'm gonna say this. This is a prime example. So my son is 14, and he kind of getting to that age where he's doing goofy shit. And I had to talk to my wife, and I was like, you know what? We don't want him to do adult things, but we're holding him to an adult standard, right? So are we holding people to a standard that we know they can't accomplish? Not just for kids, just in general.
Right.
Like, am I holding the girl I want to date to a standard that I ain't even met and that I don't even know if she can meet because I don't know her well enough?
Well, and if you're holding that standard and it seems so out of, or is that just baiting yourself into judging them when they can't hold up to that?
That's it.
And now you're in judgment.
Standards gonna turn into judgment,
right?
Every single time.
And then you resent them. And
yeah.
I think that's part of self-sabotage as well.
Correct.
Like, you're setting them up for failure. You're setting the paradigms of your relationship, or what your relationship could be, up for failure, because it's like, all right, I'm gonna set the bar this high. You'll never touch it. No one ever has.
Yep.
And then there you go.
Right.
But then there's the flip side.
Your trauma.
Yeah. And the truth is, you need to find out, and that's funny you called it married to. You need to find out who the person you are going to marry your life with, because not even non-officially or officially, who you're going to marry your life with is already married to something else. Forget someone else. What ideals are they married to? What ideals are they willing to be like, no, I made an oath to this over here. And a lot of it is like, no, I've made an oath, and like some of it's like, I've made an oath to my family. You will never be before them.
Right.
Like, if my mom or my sister or my dad need something, you're coming second.
Right.
I don't care if we have kids together and you're second, or the other way around. If we have kids together, those kids come before you.
Right.
I don't care what they've done.
Well,
some people are like that, but you need to know this going in, and you need to know your own ones going in, so you can share that with the person who's coming. Because
so then, about what you said, is it trauma or it's just shared belief?
That it can help, but a part of that is you need to ask yourself, why are you holding on to such codependent beliefs? It's usually through trauma.
Or do beliefs lead to trauma?
Either way. Like, you could believe yourself to be someone who would never be broken up with, and the day someone breaks up with you, it rocks your whole entire nervous system, and you're like, I didn't see it coming. Like, it just throws you off.
Mhm.
Why are you so thrown off by it? Like,
Right, because
what's
you were
good?
When you said trauma, the etymology of it comes from a wound, right? So, are you really wounded?
Yeah.
Or are you telling yourself you're wounded and you're really not?
Mhm.
Like, these are the things that, like, I'm more pragmatic. So if it ain't killing me, it ain't really a wound. Like, if it ain't, if it ain't, again, like I said, I've become a casual observer to it all. So things happen, and now I understand these are just things that happen. So again, I don't want to even speak too much from who I was. The purpose of this conversation is to be better than whatever we was. So the truth of the matter is, we need to start figuring out: is it really trauma, or is it just because I didn't get what I wanted?
Well, you know what? It's funny you mentioned this because I think a part of it is, yes, we don't have to really talk about who we were. However, at the same time, people are where we were. So
Right.
I've come to realize that when I look back, why the reason I was having all this trauma and going through these things, and it doesn't have to just be on a romantic
Yeah.
perspective. It's for different of a reason. It was the idea for me of authority, like the idea that someone was the higher authority. So when somebody was to, like Shem say, rock my world, not in a positive manner, then I was like, wow, I am now in an inferiority position. So I had an inferiority complex as a result,
Correct.
which was very traumatic because it goes against the essence of my soul.
Right.
It doesn't sit right. And but because I did believe that I had to answer to someone, something, or an idea or a belief. That is what I was saying. Perhaps beliefs lead
Well,
to
that's
trauma.
interesting. That's interesting you say that. Then now the question is the trauma self-inflicted? Is it because
Right.
you're choosing to believe these limiting beliefs that the trauma exists? Because obviously, the first thing we want to point to, even in just using the word trauma, it points the finger at a thing or an event or something or
Something on the
someone.
outside.
Yeah, something outside of you.
Yep.
So the question is this a real trauma, or are you creating this to be a trauma because you're disappointed with the outcome of whatever you thought it was supposed to be?
Right. And
Like,
why did you feel it had to suppose it should, like, that supposed and should are like kind of in the same wheelhouse for me anymore as
Correct.
like dirty words.
Correct.
So if something should be this way, well, why should it be that way? And to your point
Yeah.
regarding the emotions too, real quick, I always like this, that emotions are downstream from your beliefs. You do feel that way. It is valid, but why do you feel that way? If you
Correct.
question yourself enough, you'll get back to whatever
You
belief.
get back to the
is at
belief.
yeah.
Well,
yeah.
what I'm gonna talk about something then is the idea of a soldier that still believe that is in war still, even though the war is over. Because essentially, we're talking about the soldier, not the one that, not the therapist, not the person that is, like you say, an observer perspective. That same soldier can't see it from where they are. So how do you, and I know Shem, you do a lot of meditation based stuff when you can quantum jump and heal a part of you. How do you get them to notice this is what they're going through trauma? Because they'll tell you, no, I'm fine. That problem is not with me, it's with that person. And a bit what you say, Corey, like you pointing finger out. And how do we do that? Well, obviously we know, but it's basically, I guess, the goal of this event is it's how to take you from this position where you clearly are blindfolded, you can't clearly see what's going on,
So
but you feel it.
Yeah.
You sometimes deny it because it's too painful, and it's easier to deny and act like you're fine, because it's like the manifesting as well. Manifesting, you don't act like you're abundant. It's
Right.
because it's a state of being. Acting
Yeah.
like you are, some aligned action can help, but acting like you are doesn't make you abundant.
Right.
Yeah, until that something comes and triggers you. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
And it's funny we use these words like trigger and you know, and soldier, and
Yeah.
because realm 1 is like Aries Mars. It's war.
Yeah.
It can feel like a constant battlefield.
It is.
And how
Yeah.
do you navigate? How do you know who to trust? And a lot of us haven't put that sword down yet.
Yeah.
Because we don't trust that we can put the sword down.
Correct.
Because the last time we did, we got caught slipping. Someone we know, you know what I mean, for better terms, you know,
Yeah.
someone we know got hurt, or you got hurt, or you hurt someone you didn't mean to hurt, or what for whatever reason. There's a multitude of them. But that place where you can find yourself in a state of forgiveness, I feel only happens when you become the observer. Because when you're actually in the nervous system of the one who has been at the losing end, at
Correct.
the
victim
at
end of it.
at the victim side of the situation, you don't see why you should ever relinquish that sword.
Right.
Right.
You
But
wear
don't
that
you-
sword and shield with
Correct.
confidence and knowing, and that for you, that's your identity now.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Yeah.
your strength. You still haven't seen that. You know what I mean?
You're not
it's
seeing
when
the story
people-
play out. You are the story. Like
yeah,
you are
you
in the
just
story.
embody
Yeah.
it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
'cause-
how do you move on from there? Like, and you
Why-
can only move on from there through seeing.
Correct. And you know what's
Outside of
funny, Shim? This is why I'm glad we did the manifestation event first. Because really, that's what this is the same. Like all of it is the same. And this
Yeah.
is why, like, I try to tell you don't need a bunch of gurus. You just need to understand it's all the same. No matter what level it is, all manifestation.
right.
Yeah.
There's
If
you are
one truth to things. So,
Correct. It's
yeah.
one truth of things. You are constantly manifesting, good or bad. It's
right.
so when you talk about the trauma or the soldier gonna stay the soldier as long as the soldier believes and feels like they need to be the soldier.
Yeah.
You only manifesting more opportunities for you to be the soldier, right?
Right.
There we
yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
100%.
manifestation's working all that you're constantly creating one way or the
You're
other.
creating
So,
regardless. Good, whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right. It doesn't matter. Like the way manifestation works, it's not a good or bad. It's not affected by polarity
right.
Yeah.
or morality or any of that other realm 1 foolishness. It is what it is. So I hope a lot of you guys who came to the manifestation event come to this one, because it's going to help you practice more of that in this area of your life. Cool. Come listen to us talk. That's cool. But are you practicing it? Are you putting these things in place?
Are you connecting the dots and seeing that thread through everything that we're doing?
And some people only connecting the dots of manifestation through material, the manifestation of material stuff, right?
Yep.
I want to manifest material things. But you could be manifesting all these great things in the material realm, but now you ain't manifesting great relationship because you're not putting in practice those same techniques for this. So that's why I hope you guys do come, because that's what this is going to be. It's about teaching. It's about teaching you guys how to have a better experience, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say this as well. I mean, from your perspective, Corey, because I know you're someone that has mastered the ability every time you're going through a situation to become the observer, and that is a very
don't say mastered. Say
I knew you were gonna.
Say
no,
it
doesn't. But check it. I'm not talking about fully.
No,
I'm trying to say it is a master. No, but it is mastering. Think about it, because you are now in self-observation enough to know.
Aware.
Okay, this is. And that's all it takes. That mastering doesn't have to be a grandiose things. It can be simple things where you can say to yourself, wow, I'm feeling that one.
Yeah.
I need to just switch to the observer. Now you're aware of that. And I think most of us are. It is
Yeah.
it's clearly, but it's how do you get to that point? And I think this
Yeah.
event is going to be the object of that.
Yeah.
You know, how do you get there? How do you start
Yeah.
healing back the trauma the way Shem as well is able to take you to a place? All these we obviously experienced it, how to find, you know, which Claire you have, and you know, through the last event she was able to take us to that place. And it is important because there's got to be a practical way to do it. We can't
Correct.
always be on a theory and then there's no
Yep.
practical way. And I
Yep.
think that
Yep.
we do know these practical ways. They're very
Correct.
simple ways, but however, you do have to apply these ways,
Right.
and you do have to begin to understand what it is. Because one part of manifesting as well, and I think a lot of people may not recognize that, is manifesting is one thing. You're probably manifesting this good relationship, but can you maintain this relationship?
Yes.
Because a lot of
Correct.
us are saying, "Wow, God, wow, it's
Yeah.
difficult for me," but maybe you've manifested this
Yeah.
relationship
Yes.
already, but
Mhm.
were you able to maintain it?
But that's
And same goes with the
yes.
rest, money.
Yes. Yes.
um,
Yes.
you
Some
know,
people say, yeah, I had a
whatever.
bunch of money and I lost it all, or la, la,
Now you
la,
get
da, da,
there.
da.
Right.
I
Now you
used to
get
get
there.
girls, but I
Yeah,
lost
and
it.
maybe
Yeah.
you just had a month where you fell back into your, you know, or a year
Yeah.
or a decade where
Yeah.
you just got lost in the role again for a while.
Yes.
You know,
And
that doesn't mean that
my-
you can't have everything you ever wanted. It's just that
So
you're
and
kind of
just my
lost
additional
yourself.
point to what I was saying, just to
Yeah, go ahead,
finish up
yeah.
what I was saying.
yeah.
Just part of manifesting, I think there's a falsehood about it. Not manifesting, be in mastery of something. Just
Mhm.
because you master something doesn't mean you stop feeling what's
Oh
coming
yeah.
at you.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I'm referring to, is the ability to notice
Yeah.
and be aware of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was joking about the master stuff. Like,
Yeah.
it's just funny when I see
Pick
when
up your
people
flower,
say
Corey.
you master something, and I'll be like, what? I don't
Right.
know. Now I just tripped
It's too
out
easy for that word.
yesterday.
That word
What?
can be misconstrued so easily.
It can be.
But that
No,
is
but
what
I
it
know,
is,
but I
though.
know
It's
what you mean. But I
triggering.
know
Yeah.
what you mean. I know what you mean on Mindy, and I will accept the flowers for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, take your flowers.
It's what you said earlier, just in the conversation too, when you said you always manifesting. See, this is what I'm manifesting isn't a means to an end. It is literally the way you exist on this side and the other.
Yep.
Like,
You're
this
doing it
is
all the
what,
time.
you know, I'm always gonna rope in the out of body because that's the true existence state. This
Yeah.
is the dream playground, video game, whatever you want to call it. So because we are literally living in a consistent state of manifestation all the time in soul form. Here we just have a delay because things have to materialize in a physical world. So, but you're always manifesting all the time. Every thought you think is the spark of a manifestation. It's just, then what brings it into being here is the emotions you associate with it. So, with that being in mind, which we discussed in our last event, how are we maintaining the emotional state that we use to get what we wanted in the relationship? You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
how are we
Gratitude
maintaining? Forget
sometimes.
maintaining the relationship.
Yeah.
How are you maintaining the emotions that you use to get the relationship? Because if you maintaining that, the relationship gonna maintain itself. And I got some good ideas on that. I'm not gonna go into it here, obviously,
Yeah.
but I got some
Sure.
good ideas and some good thoughts. And you're right, Omandi. We do got to get past theory and get into practice. But the
Mhm.
truth is, the practice is easy. The consistency is hard.
Consistency. Yeah.
and I can speak that from personal experience.
Yeah. Even
Like,
if you've done it long enough for it to
yeah,
feel
yeah,
automatic,
yeah,
you'll
yeah,
still
yeah,
have
yeah.
like
Nah.
that one thing
So
come
when
up in
you
your
say
life.
mastery,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's why I say,
Sorry, yeah,
hold
go
on,
ahead.
don't call me no master, because I still have times where I don't maintain a certain level because, and it's funny, I was having this conversation with someone yesterday. Sometimes when you know all that you almost kind of like whatever comes because you already know what you know. Does that make sense? Like, I know the
Yeah.
ending of it all. I know how it ends. Like, for me personally, I know how it ends for me. So how do I stay engaged in the manifestation process? How do I stay engaged in these relationships? knowing that some of these relationships wasn't meant to be forever. Some of these relationships wasn't even meant to be for
Yeah.
everybody comes into your space for a reason and a season. We love the
Yeah.
reason part, but we don't want to touch the season part.
Yeah. The
Sometimes these
season can be
seasons,
scary.
a season can be 2 minutes,
Yeah.
a season can be 200 years, a
Mm.
season can be 2,000 different lifetimes. And we talk about soul pairing and stuff like that, obviously at the event, but
Mm.
there are people that you connect, there are people that you were traumatized by that in another experience, they was your best friend. They was the love of your life.
Mm.
And only here they provided this trauma for you.
Well,
And then
it
that
would,
trauma was that trauma yeah, was that trauma provided so that you could learn how to deal with your trauma.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And what kind of
Yeah.
love does it take to do that?
And what kind of
Well,
love does it take to do that shit?
I
Because trust
think
me when I tell you, the love it takes for me sometimes, boy, I tell you, I be having to go reach in my love bag because, it's tough sometimes.
um I wanted to say something about that because you touch on two really good things, like what do you need in order to get that done on a practical level?
Hmm.
Where do you need to reach into? And I saw in the comment section somebody talking about the connection with God and how we usually have been taught to do it versus how we move on to do it now. And
Is that Dawn?
I don't know. I didn't see the name. I just saw, and I was just thinking, you know what? That is what single-handedly has allowed me to be able to transmute a lot of my
Hmm.
past traumas and understand and become the observer. And that's through really expanding on the knowing and the relationship directly with source, directly with God, directly with that which is the all, and
Yeah.
being in
Yeah.
put in my communication with source and my communication with that energy and that spark within me as
Mhm.
paramount through every situation. It has to weave itself through
Correct.
every situation in my
Yeah.
life,
Correct.
because then I'm anchored to what exactly I'll always drift into the identity of whatever avatar or story or narrative I'm playing in any given situation. Maybe I'm angry mum today, or I'm fed up Shem today, or whatever happens. If I rolled out the wrong side of the bed, if I can anchor back, so
Yep.
that's what I use as
Yep.
my shield, as my
Correct.
sword. And that's why I don't need one. I've got this,
Mhm.
and it's constant, and it can't be reached. It's within me,
Mhm.
and it can only be reached by me, but
I
it
like
can be
that.
reached
Yep.
any given time.
Correct.
So I haven't got to wear it as a badge of honor and show up at everybody else how I'm doing it. And
Yeah.
it just is.
Is
Right.
because
And
that
when,
is
you know what I
you.
mean?
That
Yeah.
is you.
That's it.
So I'll tell you this, and I'm gonna pass it, but um, we gotta stop differentiating between source and us. We are source. Source is
Yeah.
us. We are source. Source is us. So I don't need to pray to a God or talk to a source. I talk to myself because I'm source. Like,
Yeah.
and the more
That's why
you
I did that
start
so
taking
much when
hold
I
of,
was a kid.
yeah, I'm telling you, like
Yeah.
that's why they say that like the smartest people in the world talk to themselves a lot, and that's
Constantly.
because you are getting the answers directly from source because you are source.
Yeah.
And the problem is you've been so messed up with religion and all these distortions that you can't see yourself as source because you only see yourself through the flaws in which you exist in this experience, through the
Mm.
Yeah.
traumas, through
Yeah.
the polar, the good things and the bad things and all of that stuff. But once you get outside of that, you become the casual observer because what I do is I ask myself, how would source handle it? Since I'm source, how would I handle it? And source just observes. Source doesn't care whether you had a good month or bad month. Source is just there like, hey, you have to experience it all anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
And I
question
think
is, are you going to react as Source would? And Source just observes. So
Mhm.
But Source also
All right.
experiences.
uh,
So you got to
yeah,
just be ready to,
I think the
okay, that happened.
that happened. Exactly.
the
That
I
happened.
think the idea
Okay.
of prayer, if you see the definition of it, prayer is the act of conscious communication with that which is perceived as greater than. So that should be enough to let you know that this is definitely looking outside of yourself. You're
Yep.
looking for something that's greater than
You.
what you are.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. Until you can overcome that, it's going to always be tough.
Right.
And you
Yeah.
always, and until you can overcome that, you always going to be looking at your circumstances as outside of you,
yeah,
right? All the good stuff is always inside of us. All the bad stuff is somebody else.
All right.
It's
Okay.
always, that's why we have a Satan. That's
All right.
Yeah, I smell like that.
I'm sorry. I know this is getting real good. I know we've probably gone for another hour, but we are going to have to call it a wrap for today. As a reminder, this is just a part of what we're going to be doing on February 22nd with the Grid Unlock. We really hope everyone can join us there. The registration link, I believe, will be in the caption or in the description below. And join us. We'll be here next week too, so make sure you catch us live. We're just trying to
Hey,
make
y'all
sure
better show up to this because I'm trying to tell you this is the
they're
this is the
good.
good stuff, bro.
Yeah.
This is the good stuff. Like it ain't just about can I manifest my way to $1 million. Like you still need relationships, you still need all that stuff. So I really hope you guys show up because we really got some good stuff,
Right.
ideas
Yeah.
that we put together for y'all.
Perfect. And just wanted to mention one more thing. So if you wanted to attend the manifestation event and didn't have a chance to make it, we have it available for replay. It's on our website. If you go to the Great Unlock, that's great with an 8, GR8. And if you go under courses, so we have the manifestation event there. We have our Facing Fear event there. So if you didn't join us, check them out. So.
Great.
And
Thank
that's
you,
it.
everybody.
Any last words? Are we good?
Yeah,
Wow,
just
thank
hi to everyone in the chat, and
Yeah, hey,
thank you all for
everyone.
coming. And we
yeah,
look forward to seeing
Hi.
you at the
Bye.
event. Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Hi everybody, and looking
And
forward to
have
see
a
you
great
again.
day. See ya.
Great day.
Bye bye. Ciao.
See you.
Bye.